Hey, everybody. It's sorry I didn't come with a filter podcast. It's me. It's Vasilis. It's Friday. It's fantasy football pick day and discussion about all the BS I've heard today on all sports. So, let me bring me up to date today. This is going to be crazy, as I like to say. It was a terrific night for me and teams that I truly love and respect. The Dodgers won. Chris Taylor with 3 home runs in a game. That was awesome. I am not going to complain about that. I am going to tell you honestly, it was a great game on that behalf of him. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't say any more of how awesome that game was. It was done in such a way to losing the game before and then coming back and beating the piss out of them it was awesome. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to even whine or say anything. It's just how it was a great game. I am not going to even complain about how good that game was. I was just amazed. I was, happy at the same part. I'm doing my fantasy picks right now, so I might have to take back one of my running backs that I was going to pick. And I'm going to have to go with somebody different here. So I'm just, I'm all over the little place here. I'm going to go with that guy. I did pretty well last weekend. I'm not going to say, I did a great weekend, but I'm going to try it. Let's see. Go like that. There we go. No, I'm going to keep that guy. Let's see where I can go. There we go. I gotta I'm sorry I'm a little silent here. I'm just trying to figure out something. There we go. I'm entering my fantasy picks, so I got I've picked a pretty good lineup. I got Kyler Murray, Henderson Jr., McKissick, Godwin, Coop, Chase, Seals, Jones, Green, and I picked the Bengals. So that's my picks for that. honestly, let's see. Let's see what I got next. I'm going Matthew Stafford. Fournette. My other running back. I'm gonna try to pick a good running back here. I want somebody different. It's hard to figure out these guys. Some of them are really, really good. Tyson Williams isn't doing so good. But you know what? I'll go with Bell. On Baltimore. Of course, I'm going to go with him. And Devontae Smith. Or Devontae Adams. Some wide receivers I am going to look at here. Christian Kirk. Did he do anything? Oh, we'll go with Christian Kirk. Tight end. Andrews. I'm a flex player. This is where I like to go. Flex players, because I know I'm going to pick somebody just underneath some money. That's not what I want. It is crazy. But I think I know who I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Seals Jones. Because it's Seals Jones. Seals Jones knows what he's got. But now I got to take that out. My tight end has to be a little bit better. So I'm going to have to go with somebody. I don't know. I would love to hear from you guys on who's a good tight end, because I don't even know who is a good tight end player. I've gone all over the place. It is fantasy football picks, so you know what? I might just go to the top here. Let's go with Ertz, since he's in Arizona now. There we go. That's not bad at all. I'm just picking my players. I got another voucher somewhere here. I got a free voucher. That's awesome. I always try to go into the lower football pick kind of things, especially the lower end ones. I know I'm all over the place here. Sorry about that. But so far I'm doing all right on my fantasy football picks. The recap from the NHL was, I don't even know right now. So give me a second. I was on it earlier. Just had to set up my fantasy football picks. So NHL scores from last night. Let's see how we did. So I was correct on the Oilers and my Canucks. The Jets I was correct on. The Rangers I was correct on. I was wrong on the the Red Wings. I was correct on the Blue Jackets. I was wrong on the Senators. I was right on the Capitals. I was right on the Hurricanes. And the Panthers, I just had a funny feeling they would have won too. So, that's my take on that front. So, my picks last night, let's see, on the NFL. Out of town scoreboards. So, the Browns beat the Broncos by 3. Again, the team is set up pretty damn well. I'm not going to institutionalize on anything on that. I just had to get out my coffee, just sat right where it wasn't supposed to be. That's how I feel. But, yep. So, I got all that going on. I've got some good things going on right now through that. NBA scores from last night. I did not predict anything, but I will give you my picks on that. The Hawks versus the Mavericks wasn't kind of a shocker on that, but I was really shocked last night with the Bucks and Heat, and I will touch on more on that later here, and I'll probably have another podcast up while I'm doing other things. Last night's game, Dodgers, that was a good one. But right now, I'm going to hit you guys with some info on what I'm trying to accomplish with that. I was really surprised by how some teams are still fighting with themselves inside on playing sports. It's not the easy possible. It's probably the hardest thing to do when you're an athlete of all times. I'm not going to say, it was do or die situations with teams or whatever. Because it's not. It's solely based on what you picked up, what you tried, what you have. I was listening to the First Take, and everybody was talking about how Cincinnati is, the biggest surprise of the NFL. Why not say something about Arizona? I agree with it. I agree with Stephen A. Smith. Arizona is, to me, a surprise team. And a massive one. Why? I can tell you why. They have players there. They just traded for Zach Ertz. So, it's for, he's a tight end. He's a great player. He's a Super Bowl champion. It's just how teams are developing such good chemistry with each other. And that there is a key to success. It's a key to success. Yes, I am stepping outside. I'm doing my podcast also outside because I'm on but, I look at a lot of this stuff as, what else could teams do to improve? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's really tricky to tell anybody that far along. Like, if I go look in the American Football Conference, you got the Bills that are 4-2, Patriots 2-4, Jets are 1-4, Dolphins are 1-5. So somehow it's going to be the Patriots and the Jets are going to fight it out, I think. Bills got the AFC East. But you go over to the AFC West. You have the 4-2 Chargers, the 4-2 Raiders, the 3-3 Chiefs, and the 3-4 Broncos. Now that's getting highly, highly tight up in there. It's a very tight division. And then you go to the AFC North, where you have the Baltimore Ravens who are running away with that division. Then you have the second division, or the second team is the Cincinnati Bengals, that is, just 4-2. Browns are 4-3, and the Steelers are 3-3. The AFC South is something of an enigma because you got the Titans who are going to run away with that one. That's just how it looks. But then you go over to the NFC. The NFC East, you got the 5-1 Cowboys. You got the 2-4 Washington. You got the 2-4 Eagles and the 1-5 Giants. It's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. But the NFC East is a team, is like literally a 2-horse team. It's a 2-horse race. You got the LA Rams and the Cardinals. The 6-0 Cardinals and the 5-1 Rams. This right here, I'm going to say Seahawks and the 49ers are done. Basically, their season is going to be done. Because they're both 2. One is, the 49ers is 2-3. And the Seahawks are 2-4. So, yeah, not going to happen. But then you go and look over in the NFC North. The 5-1 Packers, leaders, of course, Rodgers, Holt, Devontae Smith and all of them, and Jones, they all got it there. The thing is, you got the Vikings and the Bears fighting it out. They're both 3-3 this season, so one of those two teams might make the playoffs. I'm going to lean towards the Bears. The Buccaneers in the NFC South, you got, the Buccaneers are 5-1, the Saints are 3-2, Panthers are 3-3, and the Falcons are 2-3. The one thing I cannot see happening hold on. My buddy's just messaging me on for Tuesday. Big hockey game, season opener. But what I see there in that NFC South, it's going to be a very tightly contested series, right? I'm going to flip over. Same thing in the NHL. You got the Atlantic Division. You got the Panthers 3-0 or 4-0. You got the Sabres. The biggest surprise. Here's things that I don't see, and I'm not going to talk, like people aren't talking about. The Sabres are 3-0. Red Wings 2-1-1. Maple Leafs 2-1-1. Senators 2-2. Lightning defending two-time they're 3-time, but back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Lightning are 2-2. Bruins are 1-1, and the Lonely Habs are 0-5 in the Atlantic Division. Then you go over to the Metropolitan Division. This is where it's really messed up. The Capitals are 3-0-1. New York's 3-1-1. Hurricanes are 3-0-0. Penguins are 2-0-2. You got the Blue Jackets who are 3-1-0. You got the Flyers that are 2-0-1. You got the Devils that are 2-1-0, and then you got the Islanders that are 1-2-1 in their division in the Metropolitan. You go look at the Central Division. This right here is hilarious to look at because honestly, I am just, I'm flabbergasted the way this division is stacked up due to just certain elements of the team. You got the Blues that are 3-0, which isn't a surprise. The Wild are 3-0. You got the Stars that are 2-2. You got the Jets that are 1-2-1. 1-2-1, yeah. The Predators are 1-3. The Avalanche is 1-3. The Coyotes and the Blackhawks. Okay. Not much of a surprise. The Coyotes would be where they are right now. But they're ahead because they played one game less than the Blackhawks, who are 0-4-1, courtesy of my Canucks last night. Then you go to the Pacific, you got the Oilers that are a perfect 4-0. You got the Sharks this is a surprise. The Sharks are 3-0. And then you got my Canucks, where they are 2-2-1. And then you got the Ducks that are 2-3. And then you got the Flames that are, they have 2 games at hand on these guys and in this division, same as the Sharks and the Kings and the Knights. But the Flames are standing at 1-1-1. The Kraken are 1-3-1. You got LA that's 1-2, and then you got the Knights that are 1-2. This could all change, but the biggest surprises I could tell you, NFL, Arizona. Massive surprise. Arizona is a massive surprise in the NFL, period. In the NHL, the way I see it right now, it is the Sharks that are a surprise. The Wild are a bit of a surprise. But the Sabres, massively, the Sabres and the Panthers are taking the Atlantic Division right now, currently. Even though it's early, we just started, they're taking it by storm right now. But it all can change in the next few weeks where other teams start to mesh. Again, I'm not surprised with the Hurricanes. I'm not at all whatsoever. The Rangers have a good young team. I'm a little surprised that they're doing this well this early. The Red Wings, they're probably going to teeter off. I'm not even going to even start with that. And the biggest disappointment is the Habs. But again, you got to take into the Habs consideration that they don't have their number one defenseman and goalie. They're out of commission right now. They're just strictly out of business. And that there is something nobody could have even imagined. What I've heard from a lot of hockey podcasts and that is that it could be possible that, Shea Weber actually does retire from hockey because he's so banged up and he's so riddled with every kind of injury you could think of right now. So, on that front, all the BS I've heard today was everybody just not understanding. This is a different time of sports. This is a different time of where we went from a pandemic of no fans, no nothing, to having fans in the arena and just having all these weird rules and restrictions for players to play or not to play. It's fully built in a different way. It is now built in a way to combat this virus and all that. And, I totally understand now what is, it just like my business where we have to do the vaccine passports. Well, I really technically don't because I only do takeout and delivery. But when you have these weird restrictions and these weird rules coming into place and coming into form, this is what you have to understand. As players do, I think, do understand that it is a touchy subject. It is, some people have lost family members, friends, and that to this stuff. So it is a very hard thing. But when you go to look at why there's so many surprise teams, like you take Arizona or Florida or Buffalo, those are the 3 really big teams right now, I could say, in sports world that are taking everything, and I'll include San Jose, taking it for what it's worth. Buffalo has no captain right now. They stripped Eichel of the sea, everything. He's having, his, bitter feud with the management and ownership of that team. But it's a surprise on how you take somebody out of that team, just like how San Jose took Evander Kane out of their team. And look at that. No offense, but maybe you are being a negative person in the locker room, and they're not, it rubs off on all the players. But when you take them out of the locker room becomes whole again. It becomes strong. It becomes like a family. It becomes a brotherhood. It becomes, friends. They're all working together. They all have the same, mission. Make the playoffs. Let's do this. In Arizona's thing, Arizona just added players to already a dynamic team that this coach and the coaching staff, the defensive coordinators, the offensive coordinators are working together and making this team more prominent, more, stronger. The faster they are, the better Kyler Murray is throwing that ball. That is what's making the bigger difference. I disagree when it comes to certain things where you pull players out and you put that player in. I disagree with that. Sometimes you gotta just go with the pain before you get that gain. You gotta work. Just like a lot of people here, when I was listening to the Canuck game last night, everybody was saying, why are you putting this? Because sometimes you gotta see where it is. Sometimes you got to work things in, you got to work certain aspects of the NHL or not the NHL, but into the roster, to the lineups. You got to kind of work that out. Quinn Hughes, he was out for a game or two, or a game, and you know what? He comes back, doesn't look like he even missed that game, period. Just needed to rest, I'm guessing. It was a lower body injury, they say. But I think it was like he got a little overworked, a little overdone too early in the season. You can't do that to your young best player on your roster that is going to be your cornerstone of your defense. But to let y'all go, happy Friday. I will be doing another podcast, plus with my YouTube channel. If you like what you hear, I will be talking more about sports today. The Dodgers, I didn't get to cover the Dodgers, but congrats to the Dodgers getting that big win last night. Congrats to Chris Taylor for getting 3 home runs. Yes, you guys can do this. You guys can eliminate the Braves. Go and do it. I will cheer you on tomorrow. I love you all. I will talk to you guys again later today. And, have a wonderful weekend.